All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 1 of, we're going to do Mindshift Monday today. So joining me is Coach Megan. Megan, how are you today?
Hello, I'm so good. How are you? Happy Monday. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it is Valentine's Day, actually. Yeah, totally. Good call. Yeah. And same to you.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, this is like I guess a good monumental time in my life because this is the day I took possession of the current house I'm in 9 years ago today. So it's pretty cool. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so it's kind of like my dream home. I got the recording studio in the basement and all that. And yeah, so super cool. And yeah, happy Monday
Nice.
indeed. So
Yeah. Well, congratulations on your monumental day.
yeah, thanks so much. Thank you. And yeah, the monumental because we're starting this series here. It's going to be really cool. Before we get started, so basically we're going to do a quick rundown of basically it's a daily show. Kind of hinted at this in episode 0. So daily show, but each day has a fun theme, if you will, that we're going to just kind of riff on it. It's like as a musician, I like to say like jam on it. So it's kind of like the idea of like we say like what key the song is in, and then we just kind of riff off of these ideas. So
Okay.
in kind of bite-sized morsels, so it's easy for you to listen to in the morning or just a drive time commute is sort of the idea. So that's what we're going with. But before we get into that, I have somebody I wanted to bring on the show. It's special for me, and I guess it is like the Valentine's Day a tie-in. My lovely wife Darci, who will be joining me. We're going to be doing full moon events, and the full moon is this. Here's Darci now. Hello.
Hi.
So yeah, we're going to be doing our full moon event on this upcoming Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to be talking a little bit about you and I just started doing this thing with it's called moon water. So we basically like bless this bottle of water, a special bottle of water we have, and put it out so the moon can see it. And
Cool.
and then yeah, cool things happen after that. So thanks for joining us on episode 1, Darci, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday. Mwah.
Yeah, cool. See you.
Yeah. There we go. That was Valentine's Day too. Awesome.
All the
Nice.
love is in the
Yeah.
air with you
Right.
guys.
Yeah. So that's where we start. But yeah, okay. So before we get into our topic today, I'll just quickly run down what we're looking to do for the full week here and weeks moving on, not just this week, ongoing. So Mindshift Monday. Tuesday is a Toastmaster Tuesday. So notice how I didn't pluralize it because I don't want to infringe on any copyrights here. So it's Toastmaster, not masters. So and that idea is anybody that's familiar with Toastmasters, or if you're not, it's basically like a public speaking forum. So it's like how people learn how to present and do public speaking. So we're going to pick a topic and just kind of have about 5 minutes where the other person has to basically get put on the spot and do a presentation just off the cuff off this topic without trying to not use your landing words, sounding like a hockey player with the and that kind of stuff. Avoiding landing words, avoiding kind of circular speech and that kind of thing. So it's a cool way to get comfortable and confident with your speaking. Wednesday is What If Wednesday. So I find a lot of people do the what ifs as far as like the worst case scenarios in their life. What if I get in a car accident today, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. So we're going to flip that and we're going to do what if, and then say some just kind of riff on it because these shows are going to be in the morning. So it's going to be like, what if I have a great day at work today? What if, fill in the blank, you get the idea. So that's What If Wednesdays. And then we're going to do Third Act Thursday. I'm trying to convince my mom to co-host that with me because she's in her third act of life. She's a retired social worker and she's got some serious game as far as that goes. So, and she is looking to, she's kind of been missing helping people and that side of things. So I'm trying to convince her to come on and do that with me. And so we're in talks right now. My people are talking to her people and have her on. And, it's not just third act as far as like when people talk about that, it's like, the retirement age, not necessarily that. We're focusing on people that are in the state of like rebirth. And that's, third stage of the hero's journey, of their own hero's journey, whether it's career pivots or going back to school. There's many different ways that you could frame, third act. So kind of keeping that in mind as well. There's a lot of people that are, they're calling it the great resignation right now. A lot of people that are quitting their jobs and looking to the stage of rebirth. So that's what that one is. And then Friday is Reframe Friday. So, start your weekend by like airing out anything that may have happened during the week and getting it out there, something that maybe in your old programming was annoying to you, and just kind of verbalizing it, and maybe even laughing a little bit at yourself about why that was like, annoying to you, and just kind of getting it out of your system a little bit that way, and then reframing it. So it's kind of a little bit of a game to kind of do. So that's kind of a cool idea. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, just on the weekends, nice and chill, sound therapy Saturday, which I'll just be sort of DJing like a kind of like that music you heard at the beginning there, like some sound therapy and maybe some guided meditation. And then Sunday is sort of an open mic thing for like other musician collaborators called Sound Bath Sunday. So it's a little bit different to look kind of an open jam or open mic kind of situation to end the week on Sunday. So nice. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. We got some graphics for all the days, and yeah, I'm excited to start here. So, and yeah, we'll just always have the kind of the back and forth as far as, different themes and all that. So just, I kind of let you know before we started here, but how about for today? So Mindshift Monday, topic number 1, just the idea of problems or obstacles in your life. So a degree of reframing here, of course, and that's, the mind shift. So problems, as far as looking at it, as far as I really like the phrase I heard on a podcast a while ago that the only people that don't have problems in their lives are dead people. So, and Tony Robbins always says problems are a sign of life. Problems are obstacles are a sign of life. So with that in mind, you want to get to the stage where you have better quality problems in your life is kind of my take on it. Right. So I've been kind of flapping my gums here, Megan. So I'll let you take the reins. What do you want to say, or what can you kind of say about like that sort of topic as far as, reframing or looking at obstacles as more as opportunities as opposed to, another problem came my way.
Yeah, totally. I talk about that all the time with my clients around like their kind of interpretation of the problems in their lives, because you're right. Like it's probably never going to happen that we live in a problem-free world or an anxiety-free world. And I think even the term brings up anxiety for people, right? Like the word problem is like already anxiety inducing, like, oh my gosh, how am I going to deal with this? And so what I like to focus on is the choice around the problem. And I think when we talk about, what did you say? Having better problems?
Yeah. Higher quality problems.
Higher quality problems. Yeah. That's the piece where you want to kind of choose the problems that you have in your life in the sense of ones that you're in control over, because some of them you're not going to be in control over. But when you reflect back on your life, are there certain parts that you need to declutter in a sense so that we can start to really pick out the problems that are non-urgent, or some of the ones that are happening from maybe your own interpretation of the problem or your involvement in the quote problem? Or are there ones that, like you have no control over it? Like if you're, I don't know, you've got like renovation issues, or your toilet backs up,
right?
Right. It's like, it's a problem that comes out that you have to deal with. But are there other problems that maybe you have a play in that you can start to declutter your life away?
Excellent. Great advice. So when you are working with clients with that sort of framework, is it a matter of, and I'm fairly certain that you probably give that to them to go home with as well, right? So is it kind of, is it a matter of like writing this down? And actually, because as soon as you say that, decluttering, for me, the way I declutter a lot of my thoughts is like having pen and paper and journaling it, or like, I really like the idea of like the grid where you can put top priority, whether it be problems or goals for the day, lower priority, and have it all divided. And then you have that visual, like I'm a visual person. So what kind of stuff do you, I guess, work with as far as with your clients with that? Is that something that they would do as far, like writing it out, verbalizing it, getting it out there? Like what kind of, I guess tips or tricks do you have for that?
Yeah, I usually have them write it down, especially when they have multiple problems and multiple like quadrants of problems, meaning they've got relationship problems, they've got financial problems, they've got work problems.
Yeah.
And so the question that I ask them to kind of pinpoint where to start is, which of those problems is having the biggest impact on your overall functioning? Meaning, are you losing sleep over the job problems or the relation problems? Are you not eating? Are you not taking care of yourself? So where can we start, right? So when they can break it down by quadrant, then we can focus in. Yeah. And then we start to kind of pick away at which are the ones that you have control over.
Great advice. I love that quadrant system. That's super cool. That's cool that you use it as well. Okay. So the question that comes out of that though, is like, for me personally, I have a habit of picking the easy stuff first.
Oh, really?
A little bit, just to get some momentum going and get like some small wins, you know what I mean? Be like, are you? Yeah. And then the only thing is that the only catch with that is there's a threshold that if I leave the big problems or the big goals too late in the day, then I start becoming hard on myself. And then I'm like, man, I shouldn't have left this. So I have this sort of threshold in the morning. I need a couple things just to kind of like light the fire, right? And then get the snowball going, right? And then get some momentum. And then from there, I have to act on that momentum. Because if I leave it too long, then it's like, oh crap, I've left it. And then I'm like, then it's like the second arrow that we've talked about before. It's like, then you start getting hard on yourself on top of the fact, right? So I guess it's.
So if you were my client, I guess I would want to discern for you, like, are we talking about a problem or are we talking about like a to-do list? Because a problem has like more weight to the term of it, where I would say like the problem is probably like impacting on your functioning. But if you have some to-do list things that you just want to get out of the way because they're annoying and they just need to get done, I probably wouldn't include those ones like in the quadrant.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. So what's funny is, so my mindset, I guess, is sort of like that. I almost view them one and the same. Like a goal is something to overcome, so in a sense it is a problem. But if we're going to just go with what you're specifically going at, whether it's like having a hard conversation with somebody, or whether it's that kind of thing, that is different. I still think I honestly I would treat it the same. I would be like, okay, I have to call this person later today and it's going to be a bit awkward. And one thing that actually comes to mind that I can put in real time context is when I was coming back to work in September and I had to call my regional manager. I had it as my first thing to do in the morning, because I'm like, I just want to get it done. I'm fresh in the morning. I'll have my coffee. I'll be mentally clear. I'll be ready to go. And that day came and I started doing the same patterns that I do with goal setting. I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to answer some emails first. Maybe I'll take the dogs. That's going to clear my head. Right. And then before you know, it's like halfway through the day and now I've got pressure and I'm like, oh, then I start going, oh, he's probably busy. I'm like, oh, I left it too long. And then, and I get it. So I think it's a pattern. It's funny that we're talking about this because like I'm kind of unpacking it as we're talking about it.
Yeah.
This pattern that I run that is sometimes good, sometimes like puts me in almost a worse off state. Yeah. So interesting stuff.
But that's really good self-awareness on your part, right? Especially when you're talking about the patterns that you have around the way that you tackle problems or tackle your to-do list, whatever you want to call it, because you have a choice, right? And how you kind of set up your day, and you have a choice as to which problem you're going to tackle, and what the outcome is going to be is not in your control, meaning you don't know how the regional manager was going to respond to it.
True.
But you can think to yourself, am I going to have more anxiety around this problem if I deal with it now or if I deal with it later? And how can I control my own anxiety around this problem?
That's a really good way of putting it. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. It's all about, I think, not to put words in your mouth, but kind of paraphrase you. It's like, it is about what can you control at the end of the day. Any problem management or that type of thing is there, like when you use the analogy or the example, like home renos, there's a lot that's out of your hands at that point. However, there is still some stuff that you can control, and that would be what you marginalize or focus upon as opposed to the other stuff.
Totally.
Right?
Because when people typically put things off, it's because they're trying to avoid the feelings that come with it, right? Like the anxiety that's going to ensue with the phone call to the regional manager. But when we really look at it objectively, the anxiety is going to be there whether you do it in the morning or you do it in the afternoon. You can't avoid it, but in your mind, you think, I'm going to avoid it because I'm going to push it off.
Right.
But eventually, you're going to have to deal with it.
Yeah. No, that's funny. It's funny you say that. And it is exactly that when I'm verbalizing it now. I feel part of the pattern that I'm running is okay. So there's like that theory the procrastination theory, like I use like the students, like they always do, like the college students, that why they wait till the last minute to cram for the exams. Mm-hmm. And it's because, again, I talking of thresholds, it gets to that stage where the pain of not doing it is worse than the pain of doing it. So I think I sort of run that sort of pattern a little bit, where there's this, like, I push it to the very, very edge that there's no wiggle room. I have to then do it. But the extra baggage that comes along with that is the accumulated anxiety from not doing it. Right. So it's interesting.
That's why I said I was opposite, right? Because I am someone that I already know, like, I don't want to spend my entire day in a state of anxiety. And I know that if I push this off, even though I might be on my phone or lounging on the couch, and in theory, relaxing, inside, I'm just like a ball of anxiety, looking at the clock, waiting for the 2:00 appointment when I know I could have done it at 9. And once it's done at 9, I'm somebody who breaks things down into a time allotment. So if I was you and I was having the regional manager phone call, right, I'd probably say to myself, like, it's probably going to be over and done within like 30 minutes max, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I'm going to have 30 minutes of anxiety, and then it's going to be over and done with. And so if our phone call is at 9, it's probably going to be done by 9:30, maybe even 9:40 if we want to err on the side of caution.
Right.
And then I have the whole day to like move on and kind of regulate myself from the phone call.
Yeah, that's actually a really good way of doing it. And add some like just logic that kind of tempers everything too, right? When when you time block something, it kind of gets you out of your head, and then you're more focused on, okay, yeah, it's a little more logical as opposed to emotional. Like when you
I just tell myself, like, I can survive 30 minutes of anxiety. I can survive that, right? Like,
sure,
I can totally make it through 30 minutes of anxiety, 30 minutes of, heart palpitations and sweating. Like, I can do that.
Right. And that's cool. And that's why we're doing this show and this theme, right? Is because you kind of get two different sides, and you just kind of, riff on the idea. But so, I guess we at the risk of not having this like bite-sized anymore, we're getting about 20 minutes. So just that is kind of what more to expect as far as how the show goes. And thanks so much for coming on as being like, the co-host of episode 1. Pretty rad.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And super stoked.
Totally. So lots more where this came from. I'll put just links in the show notes and everything. We did episode 0 about a week ago or so, and it kind of just gives a little backstory. It's a lot more long form, closer to an hour, just a little bit about us. So if you're not familiar with who we are and that sort of thing, by all means, check that episode out. We'll make sure that's posted as well. And by the end of the week, there'll be 5 episodes. So Friday, I'm aiming to have us up on the podcasting platform as well. So the audio that we get from this will be a daily podcast as well. So if you're not able to watch the Zoom videos and so forth, there is always the way to catch it on audio, which is much more convenient for, driving to and fro and all that. So that's any final words, Megan, for today?
No, that's awesome. I think for whoever is listening, the theme is to like take control of your day, have choice in the way you handle like the hard emotions that come up, whether it's anxiety or the problems, and hopefully you can reframe it in a way that it works well for you.
Beautiful. Yes. So thanks. And thanks, Megan, and have a good rest of your Monday, everyone. And thanks for listening to Mindshift Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow for Toastmaster Tuesday.
Yeah. We'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bye-bye.